Good evening, and welcome to RISE's third Night of Nations. I'm Bob Weisenthal, and I have the distinction of serving as the chair of the board of RISE. The amazing voices that you just heard are the Friends of Jesus Choir from the Destiny African Nation Church. This group of individuals from the Congolese community in Syracuse are extremely generous with their time and their talent. Oftentimes, there are many more individuals in this choir and the stage is full. But with the current precautions taken for the pandemic, a smaller group will gather to keep the community safe while creating such beautiful music. Thank you for such a wonderful performance and introduction to this great event. And thank you for joining us for this virtual event celebrating the strength and resilience of the new American community and those who serve them. Tonight, we will be honoring 6 individuals who have provided long-term leadership and extraordinary support to this community. I also want to thank RISE's board members for their ongoing leadership and the RISE staff who work tirelessly every day, including through the pandemic, to support our immigrant and refugee clients. Special thanks as well to the staff who made this event happen. Tonight's event would not be possible without our many sponsors who are shown here. Thank you for your support. We especially want to thank Stickley Audi for their generous sponsorship, as well as the Allen Foundation. The Night of Nations is the single most important vehicle which RISE raises funds that allows us to continue assisting our clients as they become empowered and fully self-sufficient. This support is needed now more than ever as we help the new American community emerge strong from the pandemic. And as we prepare to welcome the new refugees and immigrants expected to seek a new home for themselves and their families in Syracuse this year. In Syracuse, we are fortunate to have committed sister organizations, Interfaith Works and Catholic Charities, whose staff help facilitate the arrival and transition of refugees to our community and with whom we collaborate closely. For their work, the leaders of these two organizations are among those being honored. Now, I'm pleased to introduce Angela Douglas, who kindly agreed to serve as the MC for this event. Angela is the co-executive director of Vera House, having worked as the associate director for 3 years, and previously as the executive director of Mercy Works and Visions for Change. Angela also serves as president of the Alliance of Communities Transforming Syracuse, or ACTS. She is well known and universally respected across our community, and a longtime friend of RISE. Thank you, Angela. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Bob. It is a wonderful evening to be here. I am so excited. I have been an advocate and a supporter of RISE for many years. It has grown exponentially, even despite the pandemic, and incredibly so has staff representing 25 nations and speaking over 20 languages. Without RISE, our refugee and immigrant community would not have the access to the resources and the supports needed. It is my pleasure and my deep honor to introduce to you my dear friend and the executive director of RISE, Haji Adan. He will talk with you about the work that has been happening, the challenges, the resilience, and now with the opportunity of America reopening our doors to refugees and immigrants, what does that mean? And I am excited to have you here, Haji, talk about that. Thank you so much. Haji?
Good evening. My name is Haji Adan, and I have had the pleasure of serving RISE as the Executive Director for the past 10 years. I want to start by thanking each and every one of you for taking the time out of your evening to join us for our first ever virtual fundraiser celebrating the refugees and immigrant community. I want to especially thank our sponsors whose generous contribution not only helped make this event happen, but helped ensure that RISE continues to serve the new American community in Syracuse. Additionally, I want to thank our amazing board members, Bob, Thomas, Faith, Nancy, Nan, and Philip. Your service, support, and dedication to seeing RISE thrive is inspiring. Lastly, I want to thank all of our amazing staff who go above and beyond for our clients. Our work would certainly not be possible without you. Tonight, I want to share my story with all of you. I was born in 1982 in the village of Japi in southern Somalia. Now you can tell how old I am, right? In 1991, a civil war erupted, a power struggle between armed groups that led to the death of thousands of people. My village consisted of farmers who had no involvement with the fight. We never thought the war would escalate, that the country would collapse, and that we would ever have to leave our home. Every morning, our village was passed by families who were fleeing to escape the violence of the emerging civil war. Our village elders would welcome those seeking refuge, providing them with food and water. By offering temporary shelter, my family and friends were doing what we always did, extending community to those in need. Soon, however, the violence reached our own village. In a matter of minutes, my beautiful community of Japi was shattered and destroyed, leaving my family with no other options but to leave. For 10 days, my family and I walked with what we could carry from Japi to the border of Kenya and Somalia. It was a journey filled with horror. To survive, we ate 3 packs of food. We had to remain strong while we saw families strewn along the side of the road, unable to continue due to the exhaustion. Memories of violence, displacement, and suffering still haunt me today. Once we reached the border of Kenya and Somalia, we decided in the Dadaab refugee camp. I was only 9 years old when we arrived in Kenya in late 1992. And I didn't realize that the camp would become my permanent home for the next 14 years. We were lucky to make it to the refugee camp when many people never did, but life there was very difficult as well. There was always shortage of food and water, lack of good education, cholera outbreak, and children dying of malnutrition. In 2006, my family and I was given the opportunity to settle to the United States, an opportunity that very few refugees see in their lifetime. From Kenya, I traveled to Bridgeport, Connecticut, where I was warmly welcomed by a refugee resettlement agency. But nothing can prepare you from leaving your home and having to create a new life in a foreign country from scratch. Upon arrival, I spoke very little English, and obtaining a job and accessing the resources that my family and I needed was very challenging. I remember my family missing doctor's appointments and being unable to pay our electric bills. We would remain in our houses for many days feeling extremely lonely, but also afraid to leave due to the unfamiliarity of the neighborhood. Looking outside of the windows of the house, we gazed at the amazing cars and buses and dreamed about when it could be our turn to drive a car. Slowly I gained the confidence and skills to begin advocating not only for myself but for others. Many people in my community had problems with accessing services such as enrolling themselves and their children in schools, making appointments with doctor's offices, and applying for a job. Moments like this were when my minimal English, with a heavy accent, surprisingly became useful. In September 2007, I moved to Syracuse, New York to rejoin my father. I was embraced by the Somali Bantu community who were from the same ethnic group as myself. The shared experiences we all endured as refugees forged an unwavering sense of community. It was that very sense of community that formed refugee and immigrant self-empowerment in 2004. Initially, we were informal community-based organizations seeking to establish a collective voice for our community, but we quickly expanded to empower all fellow refugees and their children through education and advocacy. What began as a humble living room meetings for after-school tutoring quickly transformed into a formal nonprofit organization with a growing clientele. Today, our mission is to advocate and promote self-sufficiency through employment, social support, education, and economic independence for members of the refugee and immigrant community in Onondaga County. Annually, RISE provides services to over 500 refugee families from 28 different countries. Through Onondaga County, RISE's robust programming includes bridging case management, employment support, care management, English as a second language, and citizenship classes, financial literacy classes, after-school support for refugee youth, and an agriculture program that encourages refugees to practice and adapt farming techniques that may have learned in their home country to the United States. RISE is an organization run by refugees, for all refugees. RISE employs new Americans from various immigrant communities who are proof of the success that prospective clients can strive for. We are able to combine cultural competence with multilingual abilities to empower our clients to create the type of life they want despite innumerable obstacles. Not only do RISE's mission and programming fulfill unmet needs within our community, but for RISE, diversity as its strength. And that lies at the very heart of our mission. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, our clients have had to endure unimaginable hardships, and there have been unprecedented need for support. Many refugees and immigrants are the essential workers serving others during this critical period. They are the nurses in the ICU, the grocery store clerks, and the custodians ensuring our public spaces are clean. During the COVID-19 crisis, our team was able to quickly mobilize and establish 24-hour emergency COVID-19 hotline for refugees with limited English proficiency in 24 languages. We needed guidance and support in understanding the ramifications of the pandemic. Additionally, we were able to distribute laptops to over 30 refugee families who were struggling to adjust their children and online education, and our office remained open with limited staff on site. Despite the challenges this emergency posed, RISE staff members managed to step up for their community and ensure that every single refugee in need received critical support and resources. With a combination of the managers and clientele we serve, we anticipate reaching out to more than 150 kids in the coming year, coupled with the relaunching of the ESL classes, citizenship classes, which was suspended due to the COVID-19. Additionally, we intend to enroll more participants into the agriculture program and place more people into new jobs to continue to improve the livelihood of the new American community. My story that I shared with you tonight is very similar to the story of so many refugees who made it here to the US. We may differ in where we come from and what specific hardships we have had to face, but we have all overcome so much and now trying to create a home in a foreign new country. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight and listening not only to my story, but the story of Rice. I hope you enjoy the rest of this evening's programming and live with us, and live with as much pride for our city's diversity and strengths as I have. And now we are going to hear from our program staff about the services and programs offered at Rice and from some of the clients that receive services from our organization.
Hi, my name is Hillary Otto. I'm the Education Program Director here at RISE. At RISE, we run 2 educational programs. Our first program is our advanced program that is for youth between the ages from 6 to 13. For those youth, we do run homework help, which is now online remote tutoring. We also run a summer program during the summer that gets them educational and fun activities all combined. Our second program is called Aspire, that is for youth between the ages of 14 to 26. For them, we offer online remote tutoring and homework help in person when we are safely able to. We also do college and career exploration, as well as financial literacy workshops and life skills workshops. Our educational programs serve over 155 youth in the Syracuse area. We are actually serving 71 youth right now who have been in the country for less than 5 years. During the COVID-19 health crisis, we have switched all of our programs to remote. We are currently running remote online tutoring and are offering 55 hours a week of one-on-one remote tutoring with tutors from Syracuse University, Upstate Medical, and just other community members. Our funding we mainly get from the federal government. That is our ECSH grant. That is our Ethnic Community Help Grant. Our education program right now is qualified for youth who have been in the country for less than 5 years starting in 2015, but we don't turn away any students who need homework help. So if you're interested in joining one of our educational programs, you can visit our website and reach out to anyone on our education department staff. If you're interested in volunteering, please send me an email at Hillary, Hillary, at syracuserise.org.
My name is Megan Greenfield and I run the RISE Health Home program. Since our program began in May 2019, our care managers work with our community to connect them to physicians, care services, medical needs within Syracuse and allow them to make more decisions and be in better control of their health. Working with our partners at St. Joe's, we've been able to serve over 270 different clients from 5 specific communities within Syracuse. And our care managers are able to connect with them on both the language and cultural level, which has allowed us to make great strides in connecting refugees and immigrants with the care they need. Currently, our program is working with our clients to try and bridge the gap between chronic condition management, mental health, nutrition information, and bridging different issues with social disconnection, such as homelessness, lack of food access, and limitations to transportation access so they can even get to doctor's appointments.
My name is Sergi Lambo. I work for Refugee and Immigrant Self-Empowerment. I've been in the US since 2016 and I joined RISE in 2017 as an intern. I'm the head of employment, case management and IDA program. So my program has 3 pieces in it. There's the employment part, the case management, and then the IDA, which are like 3 separate things but grouped into the same department. And what each of the program does. So in employment, what we do is we help our refugee and immigrant community secure jobs, jobs which are stable and that can sustain their families. And the case management piece is like I call it like fixing it like everything in people's lives. So we deal with, it's even very hard to say what really case management does because we handle almost everything. So like every day-to-day issue that our clients face, they can come to us and then ask us to help them resolve them. So if there are things that we can deal with, we help them directly. And then if there are other things that we don't have expertise on, we refer them to the resources that can help them.
Hi everyone, my name is Olivier Sekarole. I came from Republic Democratic of Congo since 2008, which means I've been in the US almost 12 years or 13. I came as a refugee. And then we started a program which I'm running right now, IDA program. IDA program is a very good program for the refugee. If you came here as a refugee, you live in America less than 3 years, you are qualified for the card, to buy a card. Yes, if you have a green card or if you have I-94, you can get a grant. If you have family, you can get 4,000. That's maximum. If you're single, you can get 2,000. We have also another program. We have education. We have a program to buy house and a business. And we encourage people to, especially to buy house. We help them. Especially for the car, really this program is very good. We used to have an issue for the people. If you don't have car, many people they lose job or they get hired because of that. Every time when you have an interview, they say, do you have your own transportation? If you say no, automatically you lose the opportunity for job. So since this program started, many of our people they have a job.
Hi, my name is Brandy Colbrook, and I'm the Agriculture Program Instructor for the Syracuse Refugee Agricultural Program, or SIRAP for short. SIRAP is a program for people in the refugee community who have a want or a need to farm. All right, so SIRAP was started in 2016, and kind of before then, people in the New American community really were saying they needed more access to land to be able to grow food, but they just couldn't find it. There were a few community gardens here and there on the north side, but the capacity was limited at them. And so they reached out to RISE and asked, hey, is there any way we can get more access to be able to grow food? So Haji and some other people within the community decided to get together and write a grant with partners. One of them was Brady Farm and Cornell Cooperative Extension, and they wrote a grant through the Office of Refugee Resettlement to start an incubator farm for people in the community, and they were awarded it. And so the program got started in 2016 because of that grant, and it's continued on since then by getting funding through the USDA and through large grants, and there's also another grant that we got to start the goat farm as well. So currently we have 2 large USDA grants that continue to support and fund the program, which is great.
Jambo.
Jambo.
Jina lako nani na unatoka nchi gani?
Jina langu Aziza Amani, natokea nchi ya Kongo, Kinshasa. Ningali nafika hapa Marekani ndio nilisikia hivi. RISE ilinisaidia kwa mambo ya kazi, kwa kuja kusomesha mabarua hapa. Ndio wamenisaidia sana. Nikifika hapa nafurahia, napata nguo, napata na vingine vya kula. Ndio nafurahi sana kwa kuwa gisi nikifika hapa wananikaribisha vizuri, wananipokea vizuri kwa kunisomea makaratasi, kwa kupata chakula. Nafurahi sana, muendelee hivyo na Mungu aendelee kuzidisha. Asante.
Yeah, okay. Jambo.
Jambo sana.
Jina lako nani na unatoka nchi gani?
Jina langu naitwa kwa Wazama Mganuzi Jafet. Natoka kwa nchi ya Kongo Kinshasa. Wakati nilifika hapa Marekani, ndio nikakutana na mandugu wenyewe nilikuta hapa mwezi wa 11 tarehe 29 ndio nimekuja hapa Marekani.
Now that you have heard the story of Haji, the staff, and the clients and community members that are all involved here at RISE, you can experience for yourself what has been oftentimes a dream made now into reality. It is the time in the evening where we get the wonderful opportunity to acknowledge those who have made great contributions for new Americans and refugees in our community. Our first award for this evening goes to Ms. Amini Audi, the CEO and chairman of the Stickley Audi Company. Ms. Amini Audi has made tremendous impact over her lifetime in providing jobs, providing voice, and giving opportunity to so many. We want to honor her this evening with the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you.
Our second award of the evening is our Community Builder Award. This award goes to 3 individuals this year who have brought impact by facilitating diverse individuals, communities, to come together to meet the needs of refugees and new Americans. Please listen with me as we hear Beth Broadway, the Executive Director of Interfaith Works, our very own Deputy Mayor Sharon Owens, and the Executive Director and CEO of the Diocese of Syracuse and our own Catholic Charities, Mike Millara.
We are pleased to honor each of you this evening for all you have done to welcome and support members of the new American community. Thank you for taking this time to be part of a conversation about immigrants and refugees and those who serve them. We'll begin with Ms. Audi. You are receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award tonight in recognition of the decades of support, training, and job opportunities you have provided to so many new Americans through Stickley and your personal contributions. Please share with us what this journey has meant to you as an immigrant yourself and your experience as an employer of new Americans. Ms. Audi?
Thank you, Bob, and everyone at RISE for this very special award. I am just honored to be in the company of so many esteemed members of our community, each of whom is doing a great job for the new Americans in our community. The mission of RISE of advocating and promoting self-sufficiency and economic independence for refugees and immigrants, and thus nourishing tomorrow's leaders, is very dear to my heart. And it is at the core of our family's decision to create a welcoming workplace at Stickley for refugees and immigrants in our community. For the past 33 years, we have had the good fortune of working with the Refugee Resettlement Program, with Catholic Charities, with Interfaith Works. As a result of this humanitarian initiative, our Stickley team is a beautiful multicultural mosaic representing 38 different nationalities whose diversity broadens our perspective, affirms our common humanity, and enriches our lives. Our success is in no small measure due to their collective talents, commitment, and incredible work ethic. Every refugee has a unique story, and I wish I could have all our people here to hear their stories. But among the common threads are escaping a country ravaged by war and violence, leaving behind loved ones, experiencing a treacherous journey to the US, arriving without any knowledge of the language or culture, and very few material possessions. Today, many of the new Americans are in leadership positions at Stickley. They own their homes, support their families, educate their children, pay taxes, and contribute to the economy and our community in multiple ways. They embody the American dream. I have the utmost admiration for them because while I share the immigrant experience of having left my family and homeland, I came to the US as a bride who spoke English fluently and who was warmly welcomed into a very loving family. My immigrant experience pales in comparison to those at Stickley, our very exceptional refugees. On behalf of everyone at Stickley, especially the new immigrants. I accept this award gratefully.
So tonight, we are pleased to honor 3 individuals with Rice Community Builders Award for what each of you has done to bring diverse people, communities, and organizations together around shared needs and goals. Beginning with you, Beth and Mike, how have you seen service organizations pull together this year to serve people in need during the pandemic and new Americans in particular? Mike?
Well, first off, I don't know if I really need to say anything more after Amini. I thought that was just, you took my breath away, Amini. Just an honor to be here with all of you, to be with Beth, Amini, Sharon, and certainly want to acknowledge Rise and all the great work that you all do. And we're just so incredibly pleased to be honored by you at Catholic Charities. And I would say for this past year, particularly this past year, it's been an unprecedented year in terms of challenges for everyone who's participating in this event, for all the people that we serve, and certainly for all of our refugees. And it's also been a great opportunity for us to pull together and support refugees in very practical ways. And I see Rise and Interfaith and Catholic Charities doing that day in and day out throughout this pandemic. Attending to people's basic needs has become a huge issue, but also practical ways like making sure that families and children have Chrome notebooks is one of the ways that we've come together to make sure that refugee children are not left behind, to assist around housing issues, to make sure that our refugees, particularly during this period of time, are appropriately housed. Helping with jobs and employment, particularly as folks lost jobs, to make sure that they could become reemployed. There are so many ways that our agencies have come together and continue to work together on behalf of the refugee population in our community. And we all know the tremendous benefits that refugees bring to our community. But I think the last part of this, and then I'm happy to hand it over to my colleague, Beth Broadway, the pandemic and just coming to understand what COVID means in our lives. And that's particularly challenging for refugees, and trying to come to some understanding about what it means to get tested, what it means to get vaccinated. And I think places like Interfaith Works and Rise and Catholic Charities, our staff, our trusted allies in the field, trusted by refugees, have played such an important role in making sure that testing can occur, that folks can get vaccinated. And it's a real testament to the relationship that Rise and Interfaith and Catholic Charities has with the relationship of the folks that we serve. So it's been an unprecedented year, but great opportunities for us to come together.
Beth?
Thank you. And thank you to Rise, and to you, Haji, for your leadership and founding of Rise, and to you, Bob, for being the board chair. It's a great, great honor to receive this from you, and humbling to be here with my 3 dear friends, Amini and Sharon and Mike, in receiving this. So my great thanks to you. I would just add a couple of things to what's already been said, and that is that, you know, you asked us, Haji, how have we responded this year? And I feel like in so many ways, what's been required of us in the human services is to row our little boats over to the worst part of the storm, and to see what we've got in our boats and to offer it, and to say, here's a lifeline, here's what we need to do. And that's been gratefully received by the community, and the community has been coming together to figure out how to respond to this terrible pandemic and to these very hard times that we're in. This last year, around the rise of racism and the rise of so many things that have challenged all of us to be better human beings. And so, you know, as Mike said, we've done a lot of work with people who've gotten trapped in houses where there's domestic violence, or trapped with landlords who don't want to fix things. We've been there to help make sure sure that people got better circumstances. We've helped hundreds and hundreds of people apply for unemployment. Just imagine, that people who don't have the ability to get a computer and sign up for the vaccination, sign up for school for their children. This whole digital divide has been writ large for us, and we've all been there, really helping people in these kinds of ways, and working on vaccination education now. A lot of people don't believe the vaccination is a true thing. It's a hoax. We've got to dispel that and all roll up our sleeves and get our vaccination and make the world safe. And so Interfaith Works and Catholic Charities are working right along with our county government and our city governments to try to share that. And every time we heard that somebody was sick with COVID and had to be quarantined, we would call them up and say, what do you like to eat? And we would bring them 14 days of food and set it on their doorstep. And then we would say, here is your personal protection equipment. Here are your masks. Here is your spray gun, and so that's the kind of things that in our little boats, we're just, trying to do the best we can. And I would end by saying that this doesn't happen with one little boat. It's taken all of our boats to make this happen. And we are very grateful that in the refugee community, there are many, many agencies, not just the 2 resettlement agencies, but agencies like RISE, agencies like Hope Print, Northside Learning Center, all of us working very closely together to build a network of safety and support for refugees as they become new Americans and contribute back. So it's a great honor to be here with you, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now, Deputy Mayor Sharon Owens, we take great pride in Syracuse's commitment to New American role as a sanctuary city and prospects of opening our doors again to New American immigrants and refugees this year. Would you speak to the city's perspective on the value of New Americans bring to our community culturally and economically?
Well, thank you, Haji, and again, congratulations on all the great work that RISE is doing. And I miss being at the table eating great food, but we'll be back there again. I don't have enough time to talk about the great contributions of so many of our community. We're all one big family, and our refugees and our immigrant community is part of our big family. Many people think about the contributions tangibly, what we see, most importantly, what we eat. Just the wonderful food that I have come to love. But I will speak more about the intangible stuff, the stuff you can't touch and the stuff you can't see, the conversations and the stories that Amini talked about the journey and the dedication to family while moving here and coming to a place that you don't know the language, you don't know the culture, you don't know anything about where you're going to settle. And what does that say? You're a powerful group of individuals to be able to strive and to make your mark in a community that you had no idea existed in the world. That speaks volume to strength. It speaks volume to commitment. It speaks volume to integrity, self-determination. It's just amazing. And I have grown and so much personally by getting to know so many different people and who they are, not just by a title, refugee or immigrant, but by the individual. And that makes me a better person. And that makes this city a better place. And yes, we are a sanctuary city. We welcome our community to this great city that everyone here loves. And I'm just so thankful that so many individuals are settling here, and I can speak for the other people on this panel that we're protective, and the housing and any other need they have to ensure that they have it, to ensure that it is quality, to ensure that it is such that any family in this community deserves. So I'm so thankful for just the opportunity to speak today.
Nice.
Thank you all for your remarkable perspectives, and in particular, great efforts on behalf of the refugee and immigrant community. It is clear that we made very wise choices in our awardees. RISE is fortunate to be part of a community of such wonderful individuals. Is there anything else that any of you would like to say before we turn to recognize our ambassador honorees?
I would just add that this is going to be an incredible year coming up with the reopening of the refugee resettlement program by President Biden, by the continuation of COVID, our ability to have compassionate hearts and strong shoulders is going to be ever more needed. And we want to call upon everybody to get involved in this great humanitarian work as we reopen the refugee resettlement program, and where Syracuse gets to reopen its heart and its arms to refugees.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for participation. Again, we're fortunate to share this virtual stage with you tonight.
It is that time for the last award of the evening, which is the Ambassador Award. This goes to those individuals who have given extensively of their personal time and support to the New American and refugee community. The first award for the ambassadors goes to Monu Chetri, a very dear friend who is part of the deaf and New American community. Monu has given extensively through her time in advocating and support for those with disabilities, including the deaf.
Oh, you don't understand me? Oh, I forgot. You're all hearing. I just want to let you know that's what deaf people experience every day. Luckily, we have an interpreter available right now who could voice for me. So let me start again. My name is Monu Chetri. I was born in Bhutan, and then I was placed in a refugee camp in Nepal. Eventually, I moved to Syracuse in America in 2011. The way that I learned about RISE was several years ago. I was working with My Lucky Tummy, and they asked if I would create a dish for one of their events called Night of the Nations. It was a fundraiser. So sure enough, I cooked my dish, and when I went to the event, I learned about RISE and what they did for refugees in central New York area. I learned quite a bit about them and was quite impressed. And as time went on, in 2018, they were partnering with Salt City Harvest Farm. And the purpose of that farm is to work with deaf New Americans and hearing New Americans. And so the deaf New Americans started going to the farm, and RISE supports Salt City Harvest Farm. And we really appreciate their support. Deaf New Americans and hearing New Americans are able to get vegetables, be outside, be away from the city and out in the country. It's a wonderful experience for everyone. So I would ask you to continue to support RISE in the important work that they do both for deaf New Americans and hearing New Americans. Your continued support means that we will be able to continue to have programs and be able to work at the farm that we do now. Thank you so much. Namaste.
And the second Ambassador Award goes to Sangabo Abdi, who was an avid board chair for RISE, as well as an entrepreneur here in our community. Sangabo brought both cuisine and flair from Somalia, as well as other African nations, and also now has a store exhibiting all that she has to offer for our community. Welcome and honor Sangabo Abdi.
there was Somali people, and where I work, there's a lot of people that come from different countries, and they wanted to taste the food that we make in Somalia, and I decided to open a restaurant. I searched where can I start. Then I saw With Love Restaurant are giving a training, and when I joined them, I was there for about 6 months. Get picked, and the problem that I stopped doing the restaurant is that because of COVID, all the restaurants was closing, everything. So I said I don't want to stop my dream, and I'm gonna open Somali store. Yeah. We started a store on North Side, 1601 North Salina Street.
Join me in welcoming back a Friend of Jesus choir from the Destiny African Nation Church here in Syracuse. I hope this evening brought you delight, gave you more knowledge and information about what people are experiencing in our community and the impacts that RISE is making. This is an evening not just to celebrate, but also to honor, both with our deed of time and treasure. This is a time when we get to add to what will come for RISE in 2021 and leave a legacy for the families who have decided to come and join us in the Syracuse community. I invite you to think about how you will give, and I am excited and honored to be a part of this evening. Haji and Bob, I turn it over to you.
We have hoped you benefited from tonight's program and been able to learn about the richness of the new American community and the vital role that RISE plays in helping the refugees and immigrants in our community.
We hope you will take a moment to donate RISE by clicking the link below or by going to our website at syracuserise.org. A donation of $75 will help young person pay their SAT, ACT, or college application fees, or cover naturalization fees for their parents. A donation of $200 will help families in crisis as we have done through the pandemic. Purchase grocery stores, medication, diapers, PPE, and purchase school supplies and back to school.
If you have $500, it will enable a farmer to buy seeds for his family and grow crops and provide this food for his family and sell the excess at the farmer's market. Or enable RISE to buy livestock for the agricultural program. If you have $1,000, we can buy a computer for a family, enabling their children to go to school during the pandemic, or allowing the individual to work through online programs. Or we can help subsidize the employees at RISE who are case managers and work with the refugees and immigrants to try to improve their life by providing them with opportunities for employment and helping them with the daily tasks that can be so arduous for somebody who's new to our country. In any case, we thank you for any donation. It's much appreciated and certainly will be well used. In closing, I want to say how honored I am to to be part of this marvelous event. I want to thank Angela for doing an amazing job as MC. Her energy and love for RISE came across so very well. I want to thank the honorees for participating in the event and for serving the Syracuse community for such a long time. I want to thank the sponsors, Audie Stickley and the Allen Foundation, for contributing to this event. I also want to thank Haji and the staff at RISE for their dedicated service on a daily basis, improving the lives of the refugees and immigrants. And most of all, I want to thank you for attending this event virtually. It's not the same as in person, but I hope our concern for the refugees and immigrants came across on the screen as well as it might in person, and that you will become a member of the RISE family. Good night and stay safe.